Thomas Meehan. In this dream, which I have had on the night of the full moon for the past 3 months, I am giving a cocktail party in honor of Ima Sumac, the Peruvian singer. This is strange at once, for while I have unbounded admiration for 4-octave voices, I have never met Miss Sumac. And even in a dream, it seems unlikely that I should be giving her a party. No matter. She and I are in the small living room of my apartment on Charles Street in Greenwich Village, and we are getting along famously. I have told her several of my Swedish dialect stories, and she has reciprocated by singing for me in Quechua, a medley of Andean folk songs. Other guests are expected momentarily. I have no idea, however, who any of them will be. Miss Sumac is wearing a blue ball gown, and I am in white tie and tails. Obviously, despite the somewhat unfashionable neighborhood and the cramped quarters of my apartment, it is to be a pretty swell affair. In any case, I have spread several dishes of Fritos about the room, and on what is normally my typing table, there is a hot bowl of glue. The doorbell rings. A guest. I go to the door, and there, to my astonished delight, is Ava Gardner. This is going to be a bit of all right, I think. Tom, darling, she says, embracing me warmly. How wonderful of you to have asked me. In my waking hours, unfortunately, I have never met Miss Gardner. In my dream, though, my guests seem to know me rather intimately, while oddly, none of them seem to know each other. Apparently, it is their strong common affection for me that has brought them to Charles Street. For my part, although I immediately recognize each guest as he or she arrives, I have no memory of ever having met any of them, or for that matter, of having invited them to a party in my apartment. On with the dream, however.
Miss Eva Gardner, I'd like you to meet Miss Ima Sumac.
Charmed, says Miss Sumac. Delighted, counters Miss Gardner. Ah, but Tom, says Miss Sumac, with an enchanting laugh, which runs up the scale from E above middle C to C above high C. Let us not, on this of all occasions, be formal. Por favor, introduce each guest only by the first name, so that we may all quickly become, how shall I say, amigos. Typical Peruvian friendliness, and we introduce the two.
Eva, Ima.
We sit around for some time, sipping glue and munching Fritos. Things seem to be going well. The doorbell rings again. The second guest is a man, Abba Eva, the former Israeli ambassador to the United Nations. Again, I make introductions, bowing to the wishes of the guest of honor. I keep things on a first-name basis.
Abba Ima, Abba Eva.
I stifle a grin. But neither Miss Sumac nor my other guests see anything amusing in the exchange. We chat. The bell rings, and I'm pleased to find Una O'Neill, Charlie Chaplin's wife, at the door. She is alone. I bring her into the room.
Una Ima, Una Eva, Una Abba.
We are standing in a circle now, smiling brightly, but not talking very much. I sense a slight strain, but the party is young and may yet come to life. The bell again. It is another man, Ugo Betti, the Italian playwright. A bit hurriedly, I introduce him to the circle.
Ugo Ima, Uga Eva, Ugo Una, Uga Abba.
Miss Sumac gives me an enigmatic glance that I try to interpret. Boredom? Thirst? No. She looks almost irritated. Hastily, I replenish everyone's glass. For some reason, I begin to hope that no other guests have been invited. The doorbell rings once again, however, and I open the door on two lovely actresses, Ona Munson and Ida Lupino. This gives me a happy inspiration for my introduction.
Una and Ida, surely you know Ima and Eva. Ida, Una, Abba. Aira ubo.
I finish lingering. I have scarcely given Miss Munson and Miss Lupino their first drinks when I am again summoned to the door. My guest stands stony-faced as I usher in the new arrival. The young Aga Khan. He is looking exceptionally well turned out in a dinner jacket with a plaid cummerbund. Smiling too cheerfully, I introduce him to the waiting group.
Folks,
I say, using a word I have always detested.
here is the Aga Khan, you know.
But there is silence, so I must continue.
Aga ima, iva una enaira abanubo.
The Aga Khan and Mr. Ibn, I notice, take an immediate dislike to each other, and I begin to feel an unmistakable pall descending over my party. I suggest a game of charades. This is met with glacial looks from everyone, including Miss Gardner, whose earlier affection for me has now totally vanished. But the doorbell rings this time. Everybody turns and glares at the door. I open it and discover another pair, Ira Wolfert, the novelist, and Ilya Ehrenberg, the Russian novelist. The latter, I know, is quite a man of the world. So I try a new approach. Ilya, I say, why don't you just introduce yourself and Ira? You know all these lovely people, don't you? Yeah, said Mr. Ehrenberg. Can't say that I do.
She was turned with me at once.
Sorry.
Oh, all right.
Completely. Oh, all right. Ilya, Ira, here's Ima Ava Uma. Ilya, Ira, Ona Ira, Ava Uwala.
I asked Miss Sumac to sing for us. She refuses. We continue with the glue in some hopelessly inane small talk. Mr. Ava and the Aga Khan stand at opposite sides of the room, eyeing each other. I begin to wish I'd never given the goddamn party. Ona Munson jostles Ugo Betty's elbow by accident, spilling his drink. I spring forward to put them at their ease, whipping a handkerchief from my pocket.
Never mind. No damage done. Ugo, you go get yourself another drink. I'll just wipe this rogue off the rogue.
The guest fixed me with narrowed eyes. At this moment, Eva Gabor, the Hungarian actress, sweeps through the door, which I have cleverly left open. Unaware of the way things are going, she embraces me and turns, beaming to meet the others. Inevitably, I must make the introductions. I start rapidly.
Iva meet Ima and Ava and Uma.
But then I find that Miss Gabor is pausing to hug each guest in turn, so I am forced to make the remaining introductions separately.
Iva Una, Iva Ira, Iva Ugu, Iva Ava, Iva Ira, Iva Ira, Iva Aga.
This is a terrible party. All the men have bunched up. We stand in a circle, glowering at each other. I can think of nothing to say. I'll feel oddly hemmed in, like a man who is about to be stoned to death. Am I late? Asks the actress Uda Hagen gaily as she comes tripping into the room.
No, no.
I say, gallantly taking her arm and steering her at once toward the punch bowl and away from the others. Please have the common decency to introduce your guests to one another, says Miss Sumac in cold monotone, and in the proper manner. In the dream, Ima Sumac seems to have some kind of hold of her. I must do as she wishes.
Okay. Uta Ima, Uta Iva, Uta Una, Uta Ona, Uta Ida, Uta Ugu, Uta Ava, Uta Ilya, Uta Ira, Uta Aga, Uta Iva.
I turn to see if this has placated Miss Sumac, but she coldly ignores me. I have begun to hate her. Then I discover that the glue has run out, and I am forced to offer my guests rye instead of oud, in the hope that no other and that no further company will arrive, I silently close the door. The bell rings instantly. However, I feel a chill run down my spine. I pretend not to hear it. Answer the door, Miss Sumac says peremptorily. My circle of guests moves menacingly toward me. With a plummeting heart, I open the door. Standing before me, in immaculate evening dress, is a sturdy, distinguished-looking man. He is the Polish concert pianist Mieczysław Warszawski.
Come in, Mr. Mieczysław.
I cry with tears in my eyes.
I've never been so glad to see anyone in my whole life.
And here, always, my dream ends.
Yeah.